Hi guys.
Yes,
We didn't say who was going to start this video, but it's you too, Polly
I know.
again. And the funniest thing is I was like, well, who's going to start? But I guess it's me. Because that
That's
was what the
funny.
question was going to be before you hit the record button.
Oh, that's
But
hilarious. I hit record. Boom.
yeah, I was like, oh, I guess it's me. So, as you know, we're in the middle of an election cycle, election 2024. If you're watching this video like years from now, because what happens on like exists in perpetuity, right? So today we're just gonna chat with you about the Black male support for Kamala Harris. And studies and polls are showing that she's losing support among the Black male voters. And I know the trend has been going down slowly with Democrats or Black males supporting the Democratic candidate anyway. But at this point, it's like she's garnering less support than Barack Obama, Biden, Clinton. So all of those factors are alarming to people, and they're wondering why. So
Mhm.
I think it's a few factors. I feel one, we put a certain standard, as we continuously say, on women, and then I can say Black women, Black Indian women of minority women. Let's say that we put a certain standard on women that is sometimes impossible to achieve. So
Mhm.
whereas you would give a pass to one person because he's a male, you wouldn't give that pass to a woman. So I say that to say when they're asking like, what is she going to do for Black men? Now, if you go to
Mhm.
kamalaharris.com, you'll see a list of items of what her proposed actions. It's actually a 9-page document on her
Mhm.
proposed actions. Yeah, 9 pages. I have it right here. Her proposals for Black men. And then I went to try to find the Trump agenda for Black males, and I did not find it. So I'm just curious as to why he doesn't have to lay out a plan for them, but
No.
she does. So, and let me just say what a few of those things are. So, one, there's five highlights that she put, and it includes um, up to providing 1 million loans that are fully forgivable for Black entrepreneurs, not handouts,
Mhm.
to get you to start your business. Your thought, those wonderful brains that Black men may have, some of them, some
That's
of them,
funny.
and I'll say this: I have 6 brothers, 2 sons, a great husband, a baby daddy too, and
Mhm.
I think Black men are awesome. So I'm just gonna
Mhm.
say that. So
And
they're
I got three sons, so
yeah,
yeah.
see, so it's nothing against you guys, but I do think the Black entrepreneurship among Black men is key, and it's important. The other thing is the what do you call it? The champion champion and education and training and mentorship programs for younger men. The third thing is setting a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency, which sometimes we invest in. The fourth thing is a national health equity, which when we're talking about colon cancer, prostate cancer, things that affect the Black community, she wants to invest resources in that because we
Uh-huh.
know, and when we see the WNBA, they say when you put resources into something, it helps. And that's
Mhm.
what her thing is. And then the last thing, which I don't think is so specific to Black America, is legalizing recreational marijuana. I mean, I have maybe 3 out of 4 of my brothers engage in 3 out of 6. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
3 out of 6 of my
Uh-huh.
brothers engage in recreational use. But I don't think that's specific only to them.
Right.
But what do you think, Cindy? Why do you think one has to explain fully exactly what they're going to do, lay out a plan, and still not be acceptable enough? But then the other person just says, "I love my Black males, and look at me with my Black males," and
I'm a
that's acceptable.
felon. I'm a felon now. He said, I'm a felon now, so I relate to Black men. He
Mm,
said that. He's selling
okay.
sneakers, and he said, that should even also make him more Black because he's selling sneakers, even though the sneakers are very expensive, and we're supposed to be a country that can't afford bacon under this economy, this terrible economy.
Mm.
We can't afford anything, but you're selling sneakers and watches. So he said that he said he did more for any Black male, even Lincoln.
Since Abraham
He said,
Lincoln, yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, he said that. So what they don't, black males, it seems like, don't really care about like who he is as a person. It seems like they care about what they believe he can do. I know that the black males that I spoke to, one of them said like in the South, a lot of them are voting for him because they think he's going to give them another stimulus check. So I think it's like you were saying with the entrepreneurship, and because he held up the checks and pulled them back to put his name on them. So he's a smart marketer. He knows what sells, and he knows that
Mhm.
sex sells, raunchy behavior sells, money sells. So
Mhm.
if you're gonna be the worst, you might as well be the worst of the worst, and then everybody's gonna remember you. So that's pretty much where he's going now. So they believing, and like you said, there's a lot more male entrepreneurs out there, and they believe he's the businessman. But I think it even goes further than that. I think it goes to the maligning of black women, so that you see her as this black woman. So if you had maybe a bad relationship with your mother or your wife or whatever females in your life, it's that misogyny. But and that goes across black and white. But I think with black
Mhm.
males, there's a really negative relationship brewing between black men and black women. And they call it, there's this movement, if you Google it, it's the MGTOW movement, the men go their own way. That movement of just black women, if she had too many men she's ran through, they got this thing that they're trying to tell themselves like that's the reason why they don't need us. And that movement toward, I'm going to go with a woman that's not black or that. So it's really the maligning of black women and her having to dance through hoops. If you said that she had 3 baby daddies and 3 husbands and was part of the crazy and chaos that he is, they wouldn't be voting for her. Like that would be the reason why they say they're not voting for her. But he has 3 baby mamas, 3 wives, 2 of them didn't even come from this country, and it's all good. And in addition to him not having a plan for anything, other than that, he's a felon and he sells sneakers, and that's the reason why black people should support him. And I think also I think black men have really decided to not care about like abortion issues, race issues, just him as a felon, him as a rapist, having a rape conviction under his belt, or a sexual assault, it's not even alleged anymore, it's actually convicted. So, and him in the
Mhm.
past saying on tape, I grabbed him by whatever. Those things don't, because I think it's just about the pocket. To me, it seems
I
like
was
it's
gonna
about
say,
pocket
yeah,
and misogyny.
yeah, I was gonna say that. Like those things don't matter in their lives specifically. Like, okay,
Yeah.
well, so what? He has 3 baby mamas. I mean, I have children by 2 different men. So that's something that people can overlook, and it's a social norm now. So it's like, oh, who cares? But when he signed those checks and he's sending them to me, I know I had more money in my pocket or it
Yeah.
felt as if I had more money in my pocket when Trump was president. And I think that makes a difference. And I think, like you said, there is an element of mother issues and the relationship that some black males may have with black women. And we could do a whole other topic on this because I do believe, like I said, I have male friends, and I do believe that black men should be heard when it comes to their feelings about how we interact with them. I do feel and believe that we shouldn't just disregard it like, oh, okay, you have no voice or no say when they're saying, hey, this is what's happening to me. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
part of why they're going the other way too. Because if you keep having experiences where no one's listening to you, but then you have someone that says, I relate to you, even if it's something bad. Let's say it's something like you said, I'm a felon. It's something bad, but I can relate to you and I can hear you. Versus another side that may be saying, just go sit down and do what you're supposed to do. What are you
Yeah.
whining for? So when you
Yeah.
when you hear that, when you juxtapose those two, who would you gravitate toward? The person that says I hear you, or the person that's saying, wait a minute, or associated with you know the disrespect or my finger. This is annoying me, guys. I'm sorry, I shouldn't put my finger up because I'm missing a nail right here. So
You
I get
pointed it out.
distracted easily. I get distracted, but
That's funny.
in the middle of my thought, I'm like, oh no, my
That's
finger.
funny.
But But yeah, I think that is a key factor when it comes to Black men. And like I said, their pockets mean a lot to them. And I
Hmm.
think when you actually get into the meat and potatoes, because when you talk to them, some of them don't even know what the plan is for them, for their health, for their pockets, for and for who and how they can advance. It's just you see this specific person, you hear a certain rhetoric about her, and you don't want anything to do with it. So
And I
that's
say
it's crazy.
right there made me think of how two things. There to me, it feels like how, if you came from a strict family, I came from a strict background, right? So
Hmm.
the minute I got my emancipation a little bit, smelled the world a little bit, like you couldn't tell me nothing. So to me, with the Black male vote, it feels like they having a little bit more focus on them, a little more voice, a little more, oh my God, we better pay attention to the Black male vote. So
Hmm.
now it feels like they are using that leverage to go whichever, and they have a right to do that. Like you said, I do believe they
Yes.
have a right to do that. But to me, this is not one of them times where you really got to be like voting your pocket. It's got to be something more now than your pocket, because this is really serious. It's going to affect us internationally as well as nationally. So I think it's part of that. They're flexing their muscles. And I'm glad to see that they're getting heard and seen like as a voting bloc. Now you know
Hmm.
you got to pander to us. That is a good thing.
Definitely.
Secondly, secondly, I feel like Biden did drop the ball on a lot of things related to the Black vote, men and women.
Hmm.
There was a lot of things that were promised that were not delivered, that were not followed through on after you got the Black vote, Black male and female vote. After you got that vote, I don't know what happened. It just didn't become a priority. What happened to police laws, the police brutality stuff? What happened to
Hmm.
like us, the Crown Act, and what happened to all these things like we thought we were gonna get when you became in office? So when he got elected, it became, and I don't know the reason for it. It's like it became business as usual. So I would
Yeah.
say that. And lastly, I think D.L. Hughley kind of said it when he went to the DNC, which was he had a bad image of her because she's a prosecutor. So,
Yep.
not that Black men are criminals or anything like that, but anything dealing with the law, they have a right to be scared of that because they are
Mhm.
a lot of times on the chopping block,
Yeah.
rightfully or unrighteously so. So, I think
Yeah.
those three things also, in addition to the pocket, Biden did ignore them. Kamala is a prosecutor, and a lot of things I think now they're flexing their muscles on. So, I think those three
Yeah.
things also.
And what you say is, I mean, Democrats, when you get the vote, it seems or appears as if they're ignored until the fourth year or whenever you need us to vote again, and now we're
Mm-hmm.
loyal. My only problem, like I said, I don't knock anyone for voting their conscious, Republican, Green Party, Libertarian, look into the issues. My only issue is I don't see the economic or the agenda. When you're saying someone's pandering to you, usually they say, oh, we have this is what we're going to offer. And I don't see that on
Right.
the other side. Because if I did, I could understand, okay, well, yeah, Kamala's talking about Black entrepreneurship and Black male health and things of that nature, legalizing marijuana and, the cryptocurrency and all of those laws. She's focusing on that. But Trump is doing X, Y, Z. And I can't say what specific, not in
Doing
general.
nothing. He's
Right,
doing
not in
nothing.
general. I can't say because yeah, in general he may say this is what I'm doing. But when you say you want them to cater to you specifically, I don't see the actual specifics for what he will do for the Black male. So, and one of the key issues, like you keep saying, and I had a conversation with my girlfriend who's like my sister, one of my girlfriends who's like my sister, and we talked about that the mommy issues and the previous relationships and the things and it's sad, but I do feel that at some point we have to come together and actually have a conversation and listen to the other side. You have to listen to their feelings and their thoughts and why they're thinking like that and not just disregard it, but say, hey, that I can see how and why you feel that way. I can see
Yeah.
where you're coming from because if we don't, why do you think they're moving away and saying, "Hey, I'm just
Yeah.
fucking, I'm just not going to be
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
anymore."
They're getting
So we have
angry.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, we have to listen to that, and we have to pay attention before it gets worse and worse and worse. That's my opinion. But
Yeah,
hey, maybe
I agree with you.
I was gonna say maybe people know that maybe there's more to the Trump blackmail Trump agenda than I know. And if there is, maybe, somebody can comment and let us know or give us a link to what he says, because I couldn't find
Yeah,
it.
he says more than he actually does. He says I did more for you. He says I'm like you, I'm one of you, I understand. But when you look at his platform, which is you should always look at the platform of the candidate, spend a little bit of time reading what they actually are saying in their plans. And it's again a tree voting for an axe. You're not listening. And it's just like I think there's certain blocks of people she's not gonna win, no matter what she offers
Mhm.
them, because they've already pretty much made their mind up. They are
Yeah.
angry overall, and they're just gonna scapegoat it onto her. I just think that she's not gonna win certain blocks. She's not gonna win MAGA. She's not gonna win certain people, white males who feel like, there's no way on earth. And
Mhm.
then she's not gonna win people who have those issues, mommy issues or whatever. So you could take all those blocks out. So no matter what she promises. So it's
Yeah.
not nothing personal.
And not for nothing, but she still does garner the majority of the
Yeah,
black male vote. Since we're speaking specifically about the black male, she does garner a lot, the majority of their vote. It's just there's some that's slipping. And not to say that, you have to have mommy issues or problems if you're voting for Trump. That's your personal opinion, your personal thought process of who you want to represent you as a male and who
right,
you may teach your children to look and emulate. I don't
right.
know. Maybe those are your values. They're not mine.
They would
But
have to be if you voting for it. It would have to be you in
yeah,
denial. It would
yeah,
have to be
yeah.
your vote. If I get up there and say
You're
all
screaming.
black men, I'm screaming because I'm getting angry, right? If I
Right.
get
I
up
can
there and
tell.
say, yeah, I'm getting really angry sitting here talking about this. This is about to be over. Um, um, you get if I say all black males are con artists who came from s-hole countries and they're not even I don't even know why they're here, then you might
Mhm.
care. But because all
Yeah.
the issues that so far he said, you could kind of figure a way to wiggle yourself out. Because even I think that way when I see Tim Scott. I don't know that other guy's name, but I can't stand to see him up there. He's
Byron
yeah,
Donald.
Byron him. When I see
Mhm.
them, I'm aghast because I'm like, you heard him say it, and their first thing is you took him out of context. That's not what he
Yeah.
said. That's the
And
first thing
that's
they said.
But that's why I say, like, to me, yeah, if you have a conservative mindset, that to me is different than what Trump is. So that's where it's like it kind of, and I know we got off on a tangent and are talking more about Trump versus Kamala, but that's where it kind of gets to me. But like you said,
Yeah.
even with the prosecutor and Kamala or Kamala Harris, VP Harris, when you talk about that, she did indicate and show and prove that when she was a prosecutor, she did not want to or go after low level drug offenses and things of that nature. She was more of, what do you call it? You know, progressive thinking prosecutor where let's
Mm-hmm.
get help, let's put resources, let's do these things versus prosecuting them for these petty crimes. In a lot of her crimes, what crimes? A lot of her prosecutions were about, the higher level gangs and the international crimes and things of that nature. So I think people would be surprised if they actually took a look at it and
Yeah.
and took a just did a little bit of research. Sometimes a little research goes a long way.
It
So
goes along. We can wrap it up there. Like I said, this you just can't have your mind made up when you listen to her speak. That's the
yeah,
bottom line. And you can't have your
bottom
mind
line.
made up. You can't make up your mind if you didn't read both platforms. I went and read his. I went and read hers. So you
Yeah,
can't say I'm gonna vote for him. I don't care because this and that, and you didn't look it up to see what actually is said and done. Anyway,
yeah, yeah.
we are.
Well,
I think I think this was a good one. Not good in terms of because it made me angry. I started screaming, but
yeah, really loud.
but anyway, I'm
And,
over it. I'm
and
over
when
it.
she leans forward, then you know it's over. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, it's a wrap.
here
You're
we
gonna
go.
get your ears blown now.
Anyway, guys, you found us on Polychicks on YouTube. You can find
Yes.
us at Two Polychicks on Facebook, Instagram, X, and at Gmail. If you know us personally, text us, give us your information or give us your input, I should say, and feedback. Okay,
Give us your address
bye
and your name.
guys. Yeah, so we could wait, so we could be like those campaign ads and continuously
Uh,
text and
yeah,
email. I'm
but
so excited that, oh my
yeah,
gosh.
that's
But
over. I'm over it.
yeah,
All right,
but
bye
bye
guys.
guys.